Other than caution, we had a super professional gynecologist. She would take an hour with you checking everything. And so we really appreciate, because I think she kept us sober, even though cautious, but she kept us confident, sober, and continually guided us through the journey of the pregnancy. I wouldn't be in the delivery room, but I would always sit outside the door, so I would hear what's happening inside. So this time round, I'd see but nurses running, emergency, call, whatever. So I sit there, and I could sense there's no other lady inside that ward. So this must be an emergency of my people. For some strange reason, God gave me lots of peace. So I walked away from the delivery door because I didn't want to interrupt, and went sat at the reception. So I saw nurses, like 3 nurses, run back. After about 10-15 minutes, then one of them came and said, are you the husband to Joy? Yes.
Hello there and good morning. My name is Fridah and I am so happy to host this yet another amazing parenting story in our show this Tuesday morning. I host these parenting conversations every Tuesday, and I hope that you've been watching, you've been enjoying, you've been learning, and you've been sharing with other parents, because the conversations here are so rich and they are to empower us as parents, even as we parent these children that the Lord has given us. Okay, let's now move on to parenting.
Now the babies are here.
Yeah, now the babies are here. And of course, now you parented the first one, the second one, now you're parenting all of them. How would you say parenting has changed you?
First, it really has affirmed my strengths. I think it's one thing to be told you're caring, but to now have 4 people that, or 5,
5 please,
that you're showing that care. It makes it better. It makes you better at it. That you're able to sit around them and listen to the different stories that they have. So that bit of just putting your strengths into action, that has been something for me. Of course, expanded responsibility. While we just cook, we had very small sufurias in our first year, very small, even for 2. But now you have to do meal planning for 6, 7.
Because of the heat.
Yes. So expanded responsibility is a real thing. That even when you're at work, you have to think of how you have planned that whole system for it to work. So that's a real thing that you have to keep planning to ensure that the home runs. And I think it has also challenged me because over time I see that children want to do what you're doing. So even if you told them to read the Bible and they have never seen you lift it, I think it's also hard for them to take up that. So it's hard to be working on myself to provide that model that I am asking of them to be. So a lot of joy, working to be a better joy, and praying that it also rubs on them, that when I tell them, when I instruct, it's something that they have seen mom do. It's not something that is abstract. They are wanting,
but you don't do it.
And you see, if those ones, they tell you, we have never seen you do it. Why are you telling us to do it? But sometimes when they just find you doing something, like they find you doing an exercise, you see, they just join you. They don't even ask you many questions, why are you doing it? They will just ask you, Mom, what are you doing, like the little one? And then they will just come and join. They find you reading the Bible, They would go and look for their Bibles
Exactly.
and come
Yeah.
and sit beside you. They
Yeah.
find you reading a book, they would go look for a book and sit beside you.
Very true.
Yes, so it is a lot of asking Joy for whatever you are requiring of these children, where are you at?
Yeah.
So that, yeah, and maybe now there's a lot more stories about children in our house. Even when we call, even if we left home and one of the babies is not well, if Ezekiel asks me, you can be sure that test will include, do you have any information on how the baby is doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, so they have become part of our ecosystem,
Yeah.
so that our conversations have probably more about them
Yeah.
and 30% about us.
I will ask you that. Yeah.
Yeah, we are trying to balance, but it's not an easy balance.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, how has parenting changed you?
More or less the same. I think I used to say when I got married, I was shocked at the depths of accountability that were demanded of me.
Yeah.
I think when we've gotten children, I have been quite challenged with the levels of responsibility that are entrusted to us. It's sometimes scary, a rather tough, hard word, but close to it, because every time I see those young people and I recognize that I'm making decisions for them, there's so much I'm doing that affects their lives, and it's really significantly dependent on me, gets me quite, shall I say, broken, and just asking God, would you help me? So I think it has really taught me responsibility. Nothing scares me like the thought of failing to guide them and raise them up in the way they should be. Increasingly, as I work with children, I'm beginning to appreciate the place of doing my best and leaving the rest to God, as they say. But just that best is really something to keep asking myself, am I doing my best? Am I giving my best? Are they feeling it? Are they experiencing it? We have the children we are raising in our generation are very expressive. And they are very observant, and they are talking amongst themselves. So they are comparing and analyzing and asking questions. And one of the dynamics of accountability is just those very difficult questions. Sometimes you are driving and you take that, crazy move. And, my 3-year boy is now 5 years old. He's a very interesting character. He talks like his father. So he looks up and says, "Hey, Dad, umeovertake aje?" So just those very high level accountabilities. You arrive at home and my daughter says, "You are late. You said you would be back at this hour." So I think I'm really continually learning accountability. But I think the other very amazing thing that I've experienced through parenting is just learning how God relates to us. Because I see how my children trust me. One of my sons think that I'm an unusually short father. So he keeps saying, "Why are you short? Other fathers are very tall." But even with that, recognizing that I am a short father, this guy has so much trust in me. I remember him telling one of his friends, "My dad, if anything gets spoiled anywhere, my boy says, my dad will fix it." And he moves on. He has no second doubts. Daddy will fix it. And he knows that I have occasionally not fixed as he wishes, but he has such confidence in me that constantly challenges me. And do I have such confidence in God? I actually being a parent, and especially for young children, has helped me really appreciate the scripture that tells us to be like the kingdom of God are for those who will be like little children. Because their levels of confidence, their levels of faith, their depths of trust are just to another level. I think the last one is one of the other things that I've also learned from them is embracing discipline. Because I don't have a choice. My wife is a better disciplinarian than I am.
Okay.
I am a pastoral support person. How can I help? Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Why are you crying? All those things. So I get entangled into their emotions quite often. And sometimes I forget that I need to, be firm and hard and tough. And as I plan to do that with them, it also just invites me to think about certain things I go through and I feel God is unfair. And I remember God is loving, God is caring, but He's also a righteous judge who invites us to, who takes us out of love, disciplines us and allows us to go through certain circumstances to refine our character, to strengthen our faith, and probably to draw us close to Himself. And so I think a few things that I have learned is accountability, just learning to engage with God as a father, as I see my children engage with me. So they literally teach me how to engage with God as a father. And then discipline, because I don't have a choice but to discipline them. I've also beginning to embrace a lot more of God's discipline in my life, and connecting with Him as a father. But I think the one last thing I could mention is I think being a father and being in leadership in terms of my role. Increasingly, parenting is making me really think a lot about priorities. Priorities in leadership, priorities in service, because I find that what I do with my children and how I deal with them, there are very few people, other than my wife, where my heart is so given to give the best for my children. I don't get it all the time, but my natural disposition is that I'm at a standpoint where I'm always crying, craving, striving, working to give the best for my children. And as I think about that and what that means, sometimes I'm not at home and all that, but it has kept pushing me to think, what are your priorities in life? So while I make parenting a priority, it has also teaching me to realize that I can't live this life anyhow. I have to pick out certain things where I focus energies on and align my priorities on. And even in seasons when I've been through difficult seasons of struggle and strain, I think being a parent is one of those that has brought me close. I've said many last ones, that means I'm a good preacher. But the last one I think I should say is I would really credit a lot of our connection with the children. Because there have been times when, you have almost felt like you're losing it. And the connection is getting lost. Then you remember that you have fellas to raise up. And you say, God, even if it's just for parenting, let me be with my but as that happens, then you nurture freshness. And so we have experienced seasons of ups and downs. But parenting has been like the glue that contributes quite a bit in our remaining connected and continually growing to be, in love and to be there for one another.
Wow. Okay. So now looking back at how you were parented, Joy, being a firstborn, and seeing how your mom and dad were parenting your siblings, how has it affected your own parenting? Is there something you've carried forward? Or are there things that you say, this one I can't? Are there positives and negatives?
Yes. My mom was a teacher.
Okay.
Even my dad. And so as a teacher, she was very strict, and she still is. And as a firstborn, you can be sure I received all that. I was shaped into, I think, what she wanted me to turn out into. And I believe she's happy. I hope so.
She
At
is,
least she has said.
She's told you.
Yes. And so the aspects I bring from how my mom raised me, and one of them is really the care using the cane. I saw my mom use it on me and my siblings. And it was very interesting. Sometimes you wouldn't know that your mom would cane you, especially when you have done something wrong and disappeared. You know, the way you can run away in the farm and disappear and come back. My mom would be just calm and collected. You would have dinner properly, ensure that you have showered. So just before you go and sleep, and somehow she would do it with a cane, a real cane. I don't remember any time my mom beat me with her slippers or anything. So there were always, we had cypress trees. So she would get very long ones so that even if you decided to run up, probably in the store, you run up the bed or run up a raised place, she will still reach you. So she would get her canes in good time. I think she planned her discipline and have them ready in the house so that just before you sleep, because now you're back in the house, so she will not spend time running after you. So you get the discipline within that day. Yes, so that we will deal with fresh mistakes the following day. So she used the cane a lot, and I have tended to use the cane a lot more than my husband. And I have tried to use a real cane, not
Belt.
No belt, no slippers. The closest I've used is a pen, probably, and for pen I use on the hand, just in case if the cane is very fast. So I have carried the cane as a form of inflicting pain to remind someone of things we have agreed on, and I have used that. I think my children will testify. For our firstborn, I think now she's out of that, but for second, third, and the rest, I am still using it on them. So if someone feels cane is traditional, I think then I fall in that very traditional parenting. But then also it was also role modeling. I think the values of hard work, I saw my mom do it. She would not tell me go to the farm and then she's relaxing in the house. So there was values instilled and values practiced, so that if it was honesty, she was practicing it. So it was not like she was telling me and she was doing other things. So she role modeled, and I have desired that in this journey I have worked towards role modeling, so that if it's work, they also see me work. Because I think there were instances when even my daughter challenged me when I tell her, I think, to wash utensils. I think she hadn't seen me wash utensils. Yes, and then she's wondering, okay, you're telling me to learn to wash utensils, but you don't do those things in this house. Yes. So role modeling is something that I have carried forth. I don't know whether, and then I think there was also intentional training by my mom. I think there's no task I didn't do. If it is milking, watching over cows, even getting napier grass from the farm, I did all chores. Getting water, of course, it was for girls naturally. But for those even chores that seem to be for men, like watching over cows. Because you see, being the firstborn, my brother came after me, and he was a little cheeky. So I had to cover up for his cheekiness a bit. But because he was much younger, he was like 7 years younger than me. So that meant I took up most of the roles. So I saw practical training at home of things that needed to be done. I learned them from my mom. Something maybe from my dad. Dad worked far away from where we lived, so he would come home maybe once a month or so about, because he was teaching in a very far location. So, but my dad really loved me very much. So whenever he would arrive home and I'm not home, my mom would ensure that he brings me. Maybe I've gone to play with friends. My mom would ensure that she comes to pick me. I remember even he had a bicycle. So whenever he came and I needed to go to the posho mill, we would go with him. He would carry me on the carrier and I'm carrying
The maize.
and then we go with him. So I really saw practical love from my dad, that wherever he was present, like he was. I think maybe if there was no distance, maybe I would have experienced that more. Just that protection, wanting to ensure that he's involved in the life of the daughter. So I have also carried presence. My parenting has a lot of presence.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am present. I go home, I'm listening to those stories. I'm able to connect to stories given earlier.
Yeah.
So I am very present, and I think that's one of the things. Even I was asking my daughter, what do you like about us and how we are father to mother? I like it when you're present. So yes.
Yeah.
So, and I think we have continued to challenge each other about presence. Presence, ile sio ya simu, like presence.
Being there, active presence.
Active presence. So that even when you're there, if there are things you need to do together, then you're doing together, or you're just listening to them. Because I think they have all these 1,000 stories that are never ending.
Very true.
And you can see how they feel in their face when you're listening. Whenever you're distracted, even one of them will tell you, Mom, this one Joe is telling you something. Yes.
And you're on your phone.
And you are on your phone, or you're still looking at the other person. Why you are not listening to what this. Yeah. So they have learned that when you're listening, even your posture, how you're looking at them, shows to them whether you're listening.
Paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are some of the positives. I think I've not caned my children the way my mom caned. Well, if I just gave them half, they would visit children's rights. So I have provided the caning in moderation.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something I have reduced. And then my mom used to talk aloud, so I don't think it's something I have carried on. Yeah, the way teachers would shout in school. So my mom would a bit talk to you in a pitched voice. I think that's something I have not carried. It's something that I didn't like, and so I didn't carry that. Yeah, I have strived to talk in a voice that is within range. Yeah, I mean, you can't avoid a few pitches because sometimes they get on your nerve, but it's moderated. It wouldn't come close to what. My mom would arrive and you would know my mom has arrived. She would start the discipline from the gate.
From the gate. Who needs sweep here?
Yes. I left the things here, they are still there. People traveled when I left.
And the sarcasm.
Yes, and the sarcasm. No, I have not applied. You can't avoid it a few times. Like you are telling someone, okay, so this food will just travel to your stomach. So you can't avoid the sarcasm, but I think I'm not anywhere close to what our parents. Yes.
Okay, Ezekiel?
We were both raised by our moms because our dads were not very present in our lives, both by initially being away and having multiple families and work, but then later on by having rested. So we both grew up with our moms by and large. And so more of what she said about her mom would be the same for me. But in terms of the cane, my reaction has been different. We were caned big time. I mean, cane was so part of life that you felt guilty if you have not caned.
Especially even for a firstborn, if you're not taking care of your siblings, that is a reason for a cane.
Yes. And again, the other, she's a firstborn, I'm a lastborn. Not last, but the second lastborn. For me, the kind of caning I received, now I had two very different parents. My father did not believe in caning at all. He actually restrained my mother from caning me. And he was biased. It's that women could not cane men regardless of age.
Okay.
So my mother was not allowed to beat me even when I was 1 year old. So
You're lucky.
he would. My father was very funny because I would be seated on a table like with him like this, and then he calls my mother, Reba, come, get my son some glass of water. So my mom would be sent to fetch water for me when I was 3, 4, 5.
What do you mean?
Cultural dynamics.
I know. Yeah.
But the difference I said about her is that because of the way my mom caned us, I kind of restrained from. I didn't like that kind of caning. So I purpose not to cane my children much. So I rarely use the cane in the house. I use it when I must, and as the last resort. So most of the time when they are caned, they come to the father. But when I cane, I tend to cane hard. So
because you're already angry.
yes, because I'm at the end. So I will not cane out of anger, but I will cane the type that I know will be remembered.
And that mistake will never be repeated.
But for children are children. They repeat it again. And then two, they know that. Our children know that. And so they appeal to me they know that I get quite moved emotionally. So when they know I'm at the end, they'll come, my son will kneel down.
Oh no.
Daddy, please forgive me, I'll not do that again. So because of that, then they just work on my emotions and I don't get to pain them.
Also the remorse one.
So I don't cane much. Part of it because I'm not wanting to cane them the way I was caned. Again, my father was barely at home. I would see him once in 2-3 months. So that has really influenced my commitment to be present. Not as present as I should be, but I think that has really challenged me to try my best to be available. The other one is that I've noticed a lot more later in life is that my father was a real deep chauvinist. Okay. And not chauvinist of intentional undermining of women. It was cultural belief that men are to behave in certain ways, women are to behave in certain ways. And so in some way he succeeded to drum in me that I needed some levels of honor and respect and appreciations that it took me a while to appreciate why my wife was not giving me.
It was a source of conflict.
I actually was very careful not to raise it most of the time. I just used to take it in, but I used to think this one is a spoiled woman.
She's not serious.
But he would raise it.
Once in a while I would raise it.
Yeah.
So
You're not serving me.
how that has worked out in parenting is, I think I grew up with the assumption that the father is the leader of the home, and it didn't matter whether he was present, whether he was doing what he was expected to do. He just for the just very fact that he's the father, people needed to take orders without questioning. Some decisions needed to be left for the father to finally decide.
Even the seat.
And so when growing in an environment where my children are stopping me and asking questions has been a tough journey because my orientation is not to be questioned.
By anyone, whether your wife.
Yes.
Even your wife.
My orientation is you can suggest, you can, you are okay to say what you're thinking, but should I disagree, you should release.
Yeah.
You should release. And so we have had very interesting conversations. What exactly does submission mean? And for a long time, I didn't realize it was actually influenced and shaped by how my father behaved. Because my father arrived in the home and my mother took instructions, including fetching water for me, so it was, and he will tell me in the hearing of my mother, women are not supposed to take any men don't take instructions from women. They take requests. So even when your mother is sending you, she needs to request you, not to command you to go. And so I grew up with that sense of My mother would beat me up, and I would know, even if you beat me up, you are under me. I mean, you are a woman. So she would discipline us, align us, but I would keep telling in my mind, I would be the kind, that boy that says, in my heart, I'm standing, even though physically I'm ready. So that was me.
Yeah, I see.
And I think that has really had to take a walk with the Lord to continually appreciate that my wife doesn't have to take, she can disagree and insist and push, and modern women will by and large have their way. And so one of the things how I have survived is it was difficult that I remember I told her I have made a decision that on some things you make decisions.
Yeah.
But there are on others allow me to make decisions. And there are some we will negotiate and discuss and work around, just to create an environment of working together. But I think as we grow up and as we grow older, as we interact with the reality of our world today, that has changed. And so I'm having now to be open to listen to my children, to negotiate plans. I remember we were planning a family holiday, and my opinions were insignificant. I had to constantly align with each of those fellas' demands. And it's been an interesting journey to settle in a place where you receive and zingine unaenda umenyenyekea, unapiga magoti na Mungu nipe neema ya kusimama na hii. So it has really awakened me to realize there are certain things that can be so engraved in us. And what that is helping me do is to be cautious on what kind of men am I raising? How am I training my sons to think about their responsibility as the boy child and as men? And I think I would want to be very intentional to help them grasp a very good balance, not to lose the place of their leadership, but to become but to at the same time be very open and engaging and create an environment where everyone in the family is involved and is participating. So it's way better now. I think we fought a lot more earlier in our marriage and even with my children, because sometimes I would give an instruction and it just couldn't make sense why my daughter is questioning. Because
she's supposed to
obey. But those are not our children. So that has been one of the elements. I think the only other one that I would mention that I have, particularly from my father, that I practice a lot. My father spoiled me with praises. He would come home, and that would be after 3 months. He would hold my hand and start walking in the village. Then he would meet people on the road and say, do you know this young man? And the person will say, no, he doesn't. Then he will ask, you don't know who's usually number one in your school?
What?
And then he would go take me to the bar and he's drinking with his fellow men. Then he would say, I came with my son, he doesn't drink, he won't drink, but he's the best guy in his school. No one can beat him. My blood is rich, is thick. And so I was a proud young man because I knew my father believes I'm the best gentleman in the world. And I think my children are spoiled. They know, each one of them has a descriptions, they have a title, they have what I dream for their future, they have things they will receive, they have things I speak into their lives, and I affirm them. Like my son the other day came home, I think someone had made a comment about his voice. He has a voice like mine, so he's young but he talks almost like me.
He has a deep voice.
Very deep voice. So he started talking like the sisters, Sasa Daddy, how are you? So I realized someone must have messed up with him. I took time to affirm his voice. So I usually come and talk, do you like talking like Daddy? Then we just start talking bass with him so that it feels nice. And I think that has been very helpful. I picked it from my father and I pour it into my children every day. My daughter knows there's no one more beautiful than, she's 3 years old, but if you ask her who is the most beautiful girl in the world, she says, it's me.
She can't even mention me.
Not even their mother.
Not even her sister.
Yes.
Wow.
So some of those I picked from that.
That's amazing. Yeah, so you talked about presence, and the way you're available for your children. But I would like to know how you balance work. You've been working, and presence, being present for your children?
Of course, they understand our work schedule, the one that is more consistent, that we would leave home in the morning and be home maybe between 5 and 7 on a consistent basis. So whenever there are alterations that probably require even for me to be out of home, they will also be aware. So they are part of that journey with us. They know our work schedules, and whenever there are differences, then we alert them. What happens, it has also meant us planning well amongst ourselves, so that I am able to make adjustments, or he's able to make adjustments to be home if one of us is not able to be home. Because we realize even for our children, whenever we are out of home, even for just 2 or 3 days consistently, and it's all of us, we are coming home when they have slept, that's really something. I think they would really protest. They say, you have not been home. And even like us coming this morning, because this week we had meetings like in church from Wednesday. So their complaint is that this week you have come home when we have slept, and tomorrow again you are away. So when will you be with us? It has called upon us to plan well and to be disciplined, but also to make them know how our work demands look like. But also I think it's to make the time that you're with them meaningful, so that even if we arrive home at 8 or at 7, we are probably having dinner together whenever we are home before dinner. So we'll have dinner together. Either we are doing a Bible story together, or we are just talking together. So it's just making that time that you're together meaningful, so that it leaves memories. Whether you're even just taking a walk with them outside, or because they like shopping a lot, whether you're just going shopping with them. So it's them being part of that journey with you. And because now they're in school, I think they understand more that you are actually out of home for this period, the way they are out of home. So it's easier for them now. I mean, there was a lot of crying earlier, but now I think even the little one seems to understand that mommy and dad are going to job, and then they will come back.
Two practical things that we've done that have been very useful. One is when we decided that our house helps will never wash our children. That forced us, because they need to be washed. So that always, like my children have basically bonded with them by washing them. Most of the best times when we have laughed, played, run around the house is been when dressing up is when is around washing and dressing up. It's really fun. I enjoy washing them and having my daughter keep me running around the house because she doesn't want to be dressed. So navalisha nguo moja mnakimbia. So that has really created good bonding, and I would, if someone can make some practical things like that force you to be home, like that meant we reorganize our schedules. So there have been very few occasions when we've had both work trips out. So we've had to adjust our trips so that one of us is at home. So that was one practical thing. The other practical thing we've done is to only pay for one-way travel for school, for busing for school. It takes a lot more time. It costs us more money sometimes. No, it's a little cheaper. But
in terms of the
actual transport, but it requires a lot more time for us. But we drop our children to school, and we pray with them in the car before they go to class. So just that time, and we've had some of our best conversations with them while in the car. Like recently, I remember my daughter reminding me about how I use the phone when driving, and that is breaking traffic rules. And that happens because she is with me every day on the road in the car. So she knows how I drive, she knows when I'm going slow and fast. So that has been a very special time to have them see us in practical life and learn and do things. together. I think for me, that has been a struggle. My wife has done it way, way better than I have. Partly because a lot of what I've done previously required being away from home when they are at home. So I'll be away from home over the weekends, then I'll be away from home in the evenings when they are at home.
Yeah.
So that meant then I had to be very intentional to find time, and those mornings were really precious of dropping them to school.
Like making breakfast, because I think for us we make breakfast ourselves.
Wow.
Our household doesn't make breakfast for us.
Okay.
So we serve them breakfast.
Yeah.
Morning time has become one of those non-negotiable time for us.
That's amazing.
Making them breakfast, taking them to school is a big part of our journey with them. And I think for me it's very precious because it's starting the day with them. And it's exciting that now, if we drove to the school and tried to get them out of the car, they won't until we have prayed over them. Because that has become a part of their identity and connection with us. So setting up those practical things have been very open. I was talking about my struggle was a bit of that. Right now it's slightly easier. I am by and large, I'm a workaholic. If you asked me to work, there were times I would work 48 hours non-stop. Just take little breaks and naps. So I'm a workaholic. And just determining and working hard and being reminded constantly, sometimes almost sounding like nagging from my wife and my firstborn daughter has been very helpful. Because Joy and Ethel, those two women are powerful. They corner me. They can't give me space as far as presence is concerned. Ethel will remind me how many times I promised to come home and I was late. And she will demand
that you pay,
that I make up, and I'm able to create time for that. So I think that pressure from them has also helped me a lot, because that was an area of weakness for me, and just constantly being reminded. I just see the look on my wife's eye when I say tomorrow I'll come late, and I look at that eye and I turn around the program completely. I'm planning to go preach in this place, and wherever and say you are told okay, but you can see the heart behind the okay.
Especially when it's consistent. I have no problem when it happens
once in a while.
But when you feel like 2 weeks consistently, weekends, then the third request you're thinking.
So forced balance has worked for me, where they literally, my wife and my daughter. My sons don't seem to bother much, although once in a while they would complain.
They would still remind you.
But my wife and my daughter have many occasions forced me to be present, which ultimately has worked for good. And so for parents, for spouses, I think challenging each other to be present is part of what would help that balance. Yes.
And listen to the children.
Yes.
Because I think they are very good at showing you where there are gaps. So listen to them and just find out a way that can work, and let them know how your schedule, because our work schedules are very different. I can imagine for a nurse who has to stay at work at night, or even for someone who is working as a security guard. The working hours are long, but are you able to have conversations with your children so that they understand your work schedule and the demands that has on your time? And then be faithful then. Try to be faithful on the other times when you are actually, so that when you're with them, try to be with them. Hata ikiwa to 1 hour or 2 hours, make a memory with them, do something with them, even if it's cooking or just sitting them there and carrying them. Because I think for me, the boys really like when I carry them, so they just come there and want to stay on your lap. So make memories with them for that 1 hour, 2 hours, so that they are able to understand when you are away, because they actually understand. They do.
And I think I would add, it's important to intentionally plan for presence, and that is for significant events in a child's life. Just plan for it. Birthdays, school events, but even just plan. Like I remember when I was working at Focus and I had to be away on Mondays and over the holidays, my wife would get me organize and plan within this week how many evenings are you going to be home for dinner, so that it is planned and it is protected. Because when it's not planned and protected, then other things tend to take it up. Friend will call and ask you to drop them somewhere because they are sick. Another person, someone will come at work and inquire, get help. But if it's planned and protected, then you are able to say, hey, this is out of, out of reach. Like I remember when I was at Focus, one other very important thing for me, it didn't matter what kind of meeting I had. I picked my children from the bus. I never sent the help to go and pick them. So because I knew, even if it's a board chair who is seated, I will say, give me 10 minutes. And we will start a meeting. I'll say, between this time and this time, I will go. Because it was so precious for them. And when it's planned and protected that way, then you create those very important blocks in your time that is dedicated and set apart for them.
So how about now the two of you, outside parenting, how do you create time for one another so that now your love keeps the fire keeps burning, and intentionally?
I think that's one of those that if there was a man of God on the pulpit to say, you are here, you will not be creating a lifetime.
It's a pray for me. Come for this one.
I would honestly say it's been an on and off journey. I think there have been times we have been intentional, we will be doing monthly dates. There have been times we'll say we'll have time to sit together to talk. I wouldn't say that we have been absent from each other and like we have punished each other and been away from each other. But I think we have been more intentional about parenting, and perhaps it was the season because of when they are 4 and they are back to back. I keep saying I have children between the age of 10 and 3 and there are 4 of them. Please don't try to calculate the ages between them. So when they are 4 and you have all this, so for the 3, it meant that you have a period of about a year, 6 months of them raising the baby and dealing with the night dramas, then a little bit of reprieve for 3-4 months, then you conceive. So that means for us, the last 7 years, a lot of that has been invested in the journey of pregnancy and child taking care of babies and the little ones. So our babies have honestly been in that season been our connection to a large extent. We have created some intentional times, but they have not been as many as we wish. I think now, as our children are getting older, and on a light note, trusting that we really have a final last born.
Are you doubting me?
He can't trust me. At this rate.
No, she's already 3.
No, you're not yet at 6. So you never know. I think increasingly that is becoming better. There are times we are able to take walks. There are times we are like now after this we have just time to be together, catch up, connect. And so we're trying to a lot more like travel together a few times. I think there was a time we traveled home, just the 2 of us. So I think we are getting to the age where we want to be a lot more intentional. And I think understanding seasons is also useful. But even that notwithstanding, just intentionality and investing a lot more time. I feel I need to take more responsibility in that because I think to a large extent during the last couple of years, the last decade, my wife has played a broader role in making that happen. I wouldn't say give myself an exceeding expectation. I'm not so sure it will be meeting expectation, but it wouldn't be below expectation. It is approaching expectation.
Then if it's not there, you're safe.
Yeah, I think I would agree with what he has said. That has been a very physically demanding season for us for parenting. Because I think the phases of parenting, there's one with very high physical exhaustion because you have to be present to feed, to change, to clean, to help even a little more with homework than probably the older one. So physical exhaustion, by the time I think we finished putting those 4 babies to bed,
Just want to
I
sleep.
think even everyone is just, mimi nimechoka sana. Let me just sleep. Yeah, so that has been the experience. But even in between that, we would have just, maybe there will not be like going out. It will be just conversations at home. It will be trying to stretch ourselves a bit, even if it's just 1 hour, to catch up on how we are doing. And I think realizing that that has been a low area for us, we now are making more intentional steps, because it's been one of those things we say, it hasn't been good, and we need to. But I would say that we will always maybe spice up birthdays, or it would be probably those anniversaries that we'll have moments to remember, and that maybe helped cover us up. Or we'll even have, one of the ways that probably it helped us also is within that period we did a lot of best coupling. So one of the ways was to debrief from those
sessions.
yes. So we'd say, well, okay, we have shared this, but you can be sure hapa kuna kitu, it's we are not doing so well. Or it will even, we will just share our low moments, or we will debrief with them things that we are not doing right. So they will also offer moments of debriefing with one another, things that we were not doing right. And it's also been a tough season for us. I mean, for couples who've been able to still manage their heavy parenting season and still have their love life up there, kudos for them. For us, I think it hasn't worked. Yes, I think maybe our children will score as high, but they would score our connection a bit low. But I think in God's grace and mercy, He has made us survive.
I'm actually telling myself, we are not, I mean, by basic standards, we are not an average couple. We have, by and large, thrived. I tell myself, if we have thrived under these circumstances, watch this space. Watch this space, because I think when we are now get more intentional and connect with each other, I mean, we have not had, apart from 1 or 2 seasons when it's really been tough, the bulk of these 13 years, I've not carried a burden of marriage. It's been a blessing. There's no moment in the 13 years marriage has been a burden. There's no moment in those years joy has been someone I don't want to meet or see. And so if I keep telling, by God's grace we have survived. If this grace abounds and then we put in our efforts, I can't wait for what the future holds for us.
Yeah, it's bright. Yes. It's bright. And before we finish, tell us one outstanding joy that you have found in parenting, and a challenge as well.
It's seeing our children just love us. For who we are, with our faults, with our good. I think sometimes when you just arrive home and how they receive you, it just warms your heart. It just makes you know that you are loved. We have rubbed on them our love, but I think God has also worked out in their lives for them to just love us unconditionally. I think it just makes me want to do more. I mean, they are very unique and different in personality, each one of them, but I just find great joy in the love they have shown us.
I think for me, one of the most sacred moments of parenting, because it had been my prayer, was the day I led my daughter to the Lord.
Wow.
I had been praying about it. I'm now praying for my son, but that night we talked, and she said she wanted to give her life to Jesus, and she led her to the Lord, and it's been authentic. We've seen her demonstrate that she gave her life to Jesus and testify that she's born again. And we've seen her read the Bible, pray. We've seen her challenge us in her discipleship journey. So I think that for me was one of the greatest, moments that I will live to remember, and I keep praying that God will allow me that privilege for all the 4 children. That each one of them will get a moment that in our own home, through our own witness, they can give their lives to Jesus. I think one of the pain points for me has been around discipline. You have this desire that your child will come out perfect, and that, you know, they will not be caught up in some things that you think this is not our portion.
Stealing. Yeah.
So I think there are occasions when you see some behaviors and you're thinking, God of heaven. And sometimes I get scared because I know it's easier when they are younger. I am quite praying for grace and strength, because I think I'm the kind that would be extremely broken if my children would not turn out well. So it's not like a failure, but it's a burden in my heart that God would really help us do our best, and by His grace, touch our children to turn out well, and authentically so, not to try, because one of the things that really breaks my heart is when I can see they are trying to create something they are not, because of the expectation of us on them as Christian parents, that they can be real, and that real is Christian.
Yeah, actually.
So that's really a burden and cry of my heart. It sometimes gets me stressed, just thinking, Lord, this girl is now 11. How is she gonna manage her teenage? So just the fear of what if. What if? So it's really turned into a prayer that the Lord will watch over them and take care of them. But I think one of my biggest joys has been to see them begin to make individual personal decisions to walk with the Lord.
I think I had always told Ezekiel, for teenagehood, I think you need to take more responsibility, because somehow I felt like I thrived for this 10 and below. I feel like I'm thriving, you know.
It's your area.
Yeah, it's my area. So because now he's been engaging with young people, I feel like now the next phase, now you need to take. But then I realized that there are certain things as a mother I have to step up.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think one time my daughter came and told me, I think they had learned something about female genital mutilation in school, and I think it was really scary.
Yeah.
And I think also they had learned about menstruation and all of those topics.
Sex education.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, wow, Joy, I think you needed to have done better to start this conversation early. Because, I mean, I tried to pick up now that conversation after that, but I felt like I would have done better to pick up those conversations. And probably it came from that place of fear and wondering, am I ready to introduce this subject? But also probably I took it very seriously that now Ezekiel will take up that role post-term.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's traumatizing to hear things that your child has learned, especially in the sexual reproduction area. But I think this is the world we live in. Yeah, those conversations can come from every direction. So just stepping up to see how can you provide enough information that is not biased, because sometimes trainers or people provide information that sometimes can be biased depending on their experiences. And so how can you try to provide us enough information for them so that they are able to make right judgment? Because I think they are going to an age of really making personal judgment of situations that they encounter. So do they have enough, not everything, but at least enough information for them to make sound judgment? Yeah.
From the right sources.
Yes, from the right sources.
Before we finish this conversation, I will allow them to give us their parting shot.
If I would say one thing, I would say the greatest responsibility a parent has, especially a Christian parent, or perhaps specifically speaking to a Christian parent, is to be the first disciple maker for their children. Walk in the ways of the Lord and do your best to live an authentic Christian life. That if your children walked the way you walk, if they followed the paths you follow, they will find their way to Jesus. Be the greatest disciple maker in the lives of your children.
Parenting is a gift to us, and sometimes these children come to us in different ways that sometimes brings us pain. But I pray that any parent who is in pain because of how the child came would find healing in God. And for me, what I have learned as a parent, that it's important for you to teach what you want the children to do, but also train them, provide enough time for them to learn what you're teaching. But beyond that, push yourself to role model, because they will learn more from what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you once again for creating time and for coming to talk to us about your parenting journey. I really appreciate your time. Thank you to my viewers once again for staying on and for learning from the Barazas. Let me know your takeaways once again on the comment section. If you're watching for the first time and you've not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please enjoy these shows. I host them every Tuesday morning, and during the week I also keep posting some of the snippets from the video. Enjoy them, share them with other parents and aspiring parents, and let's learn. Let's make parenting joyous and something to look forward to, because these children have been given to us by the Lord, and He expects us to raise a godly offspring. Thank you, and for me, for now, it's a bye.